Hello, and welcome to the Trophy Trust, weekly podcast for PlayStation Trophy Hunters, recorded through Discord. I'm one of your hosts, Adazil, and joining me this evening we have Void
Hey guys.
and Vec.
Heyo.
Okay, guys, as a recording, it is it's 2 days till Christmas, I feel, and this is going to be probably one of the last episodes of this year, if not the last episode of the year. I wouldn't call it a Christmas special, but it is a podcast close to Christmas, although not particularly seasonal. How are you guys all feeling in this festive season?
I've been cheery.
Okay.
I've I've been better, but it's not too bad. And I was supposed to. I was planning to go to Canada to visit my family and be with my family for Christmas, but because of visa and stuff, I have to stay in Poland. So it's a small letdown. But I'll be with my girlfriend family, so it's not too bad.
Okay, cool. Well, with like the holidays and whatnot, it also brings plenty of free time for gaming if you're lucky enough to have time off of work or school or whatever it is you do that you may be off from. And of course, with like Christmas and whatnot, there's also presents and games are often given as gifts. So I hear these days, all you youngsters, for your video games. So of course, coming up in future episodes, we're probably going to have a lot to talk about and a lot to discuss if we're lucky enough to get what we want for Christmas. Anyway, let's just dive straight in and talk about what we've been playing. So, Feck, why don't you lead the way on this one?
Okay, so I left off with a plan on saying I was gonna get the platinum for Little Big Planet 2, and I actually managed to get it yesterday.
Oof.
But that was fun.
I imagine that was
Nice.
quite a challenge with some of the. It's quite online heavy, isn't it? We're playing community levels.
Yep, you have to play like a bunch of community. You have to play like a bunch of community levels, but luckily I only had like 3 of them working on, and managed to get one of them last night thanks to one of our members here, which boosted the trophy with me, and he managed to get it as well. So we got.
Is it in this lit? It is in
Hmm?
this game that you have to have like 50 likes on one of your map or something, and some people created their own.
You're close. It's you have to play. You have to have publish a level and have 50 people play on it. It has to be 50 unique people,
Okay.
and that unlocks the trophy.
So
Now,
was that just
thing
sort
to
of
boost?
something that happened to you randomly, or did you boost that? Did you get people to?
no, I managed to get that random because I got this game back when it got released. So I managed to jump in that early. It was the last ones I needed was like the dive in 25, the win 25 versus, and what was the other one? 10 aces in a row. But that was luckily that was not as hard, but still a bit frustrating, dying a lot. But then again, that's it. The other game I was also playing, and I know Void, you have been asking, but now I finished it, so I can give my full thoughts on it. Um, this weekend I managed to get through Stick It to the Man.
Oh yeah. Ask you on Twitter. I wanted to know how was
Yeah.
this game.
I
Yes,
remember playing that back in around the launch window of PS4. That was one of the sort of first games, digital games that I downloaded on it.
Yes, that game is really good. Especially it was the first game from Zoink, and those guys are very fun.
They've got a new game coming out soon that's very similar to Stick It to the Man, haven't they?
Yes, I'm excited. It's flipping dead.
It's got this very similar kind of visual style to it, hasn't it? That kind of hand-drawn look to it.
Yes, that looks butt ugly, but it's still kind of unique in its own personal way. I actually.
So
like
did you complete it? Did you get 100% on it?
No, I managed to beat the story, and I actually enjoyed it. I was going to get the 100% during the weekend, but time constraints managed to not help me with that a lot. So I'm just gonna maybe get it during the weekend before Christmas.
It is a shame it doesn't have a platinum trophy though, because it's got plenty to do in the game. It's not an overly long game, but there's loads of little hidden things to do.
Yes.
And such. So it would have been nice to have a platinum trophy, but well.
The amount of detail in that game is amazing. You can see like little stuff. I took a bunch of screenshots I'm willing to share. but some of them are very spoiler heavy. But the other ones are very subtle. Like for example, there's one where there's like you go outside the hospital and you see like a silhouette of a chef taking like disembodied parts from organs, and he takes and puts it in a bag. And then afterwards, later in the level, you go into a restaurant where you can see like the hands and the bag where he picked it up back in the hospital. So it has like a subtle foreshadowing. It's kind of cool. And when you sit down and like look at it, it's like, huh, you never notice this kind of stuff, but it's kind of cool. I actually recommend it now. It's on sale. So
yeah, it's also on Vita as well. I've never played it on Vita. I played it on PS4, so I don't really know how it runs on Vita. But it definitely would be good on Vita. It seems like it would fit a handheld anyway, and it's not a particularly long game either, which is also suitable for handhelds. But yeah, I'd recommend it as well. It's been years since I played it, but the humor in it is pretty dark but kind of goofy at the same time. So yeah.
It's super dark.
Yeah. So that all you've been playing then?
Yeah, that's it. And I will pass the torch around to any of you do.
Void, why don't you go next then?
Yeah, I've been. I pick up The Witcher 3 again. So this week, so I've jumped into a big adventure after doing a lot of little indie game. So yeah, it'll be something. I had a game on my profile. I played it before, but before I was a trophy hunter, so I had to start
before
from the
I was a
beginning.
trophy hunter. Before I picked up the mantle. Before I put on the
no, but I started like just 1 year ago, so I play a lot of stuff before caring about trophies. So yeah, I didn't play the Dead March difficulty, so I have to start from the beginning. And
this is the point in the podcast where we do a shout out to Claire, who is like platinum that game like what 3 times now, maybe 4. I'm not sure. But
he did it 3 times. I think there is only 3 stack for The Witcher.
Yeah, regular North America and Game of the Year, and there or isn't?
Game of the Year and a complete edition. So yeah, I really want to go to platinum it, but it seems like a good time for Christmas. I have a lot of time, and I'll be able to go through that. Yes. So I find it a bit hard to listen to the same story again. It's not really my thing personally, but it's a pretty good game to go back into.
Okay, and that's what you've been playing recently. Have you got any more?
Yeah. No.
That's it. Short and sweet.
There is too much stuff to do in The Witcher to play other games.
Yes, I was gonna say that's a lot.
I can imagine. All right, then.
What have you been playing in Des?
Well, well, I wasn't on the last episode, so I can't remember exactly what I said on the episode before. So I did speak about L.A. Noire. But don't need to worry about that. Recently, I played a little sort of indie game that I picked up for cheap on PSN called Air: Memories of Old, spelled A-E-R, Air. I assume it's pronounced like Air. It really reminds me. It's like a kind of open worldish kind of little bit platformer. The best way to describe it would be Rime meets Journey a little bit with a kind of polygonal art style. It's kind of simplistic, kind of 3D art style. Kind of hard to explain unless you've seen it. But I really liked it. It's a really short game, really easy platinum. There's like maybe 2 hours to it. You're just sort of you play as a girl, and it's set in. It's really hard to kind of piece it together, but it's basically set after some kind of big event. And now people live in islands floating in the sky. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Breath of the Wild as well, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Just not really the art style or anything, but just the way the characters look in the game, at least like the clothes they wear and the ruins that you explore. Reminds me a little bit of Zelda. Like I said, short game, and you play as a girl. It's all magic and such. You're exploring old ruins to unlock different temples and powers to kind of banish some kind of great evil that caused this event in the past. You can transform into a bird and fly across to all the different islands in the sky. It's really nice. I recommend it. It's a really nice kind of chill game, very relaxing.
Yeah,
pace.
it's looking like all those little Journey and the others. Platinum another one recently. I don't remember.
It really did remind me of Rhyme. Just
Rhyme.
like the score, the music in it, and just the kind of like spiritual kind of magic kind of themes that is in the game, exploring like these wonderful, beautiful kind of ruins of an ancient civilization. You know,
I remember. Sorry, I remember you posting like this on Twitter, and I looked at the screenshots and I thought to myself, it looks like Protheus if you could put it on third person. Although it just looks beautiful. It's like the simplistic art style. It reminds me a lot of, like you said, Rhyme and Bound. It's a weird combination, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I can't remember how much I paid for it. Actually, I think it might have been. I think it was in a sale. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was in a sale.
Yeah,
looking up.
Quick and easy platinum. It's just about basically finding. Most of the trophies are actually story related. The game shows you where to go most of the time. It can get a little confusing in some of the later sort of temples, I guess you call them, or dungeons, where you have to hit switches that are spread all around different parts of the level to unlock the door to progress, but really not that difficult overall. And some of the trophies that are a little bit out of the way are just flying to some of the really far off floating islands and just basically standing in front of big statues and just getting the trophy for finding the statue. There's no collectibles in the game either, so very, very straightforward.
I found the pricing right now. It's like $14.99, and I think it equals like around 21 pounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I wouldn't convert it exactly, but yeah, it's around the sort of 15, 14 pound mark. I think that's what I paid for it. Now that I think about it, I don't think it was in the sale. I just took a punt on it, to give it a go, and yeah, really enjoyed it. Recommend it. And the other games I've been playing, I started South Park: The Fractured Butthole, and I'm really liking it. I've been tweeting a lot about it. The sort of revised battle system's really fun. They've sort of taken away the collecting different clothes to boost up your armor and defense. It's sort of more streamlined now. The battle system's still turn based, but you can now move on a grid, so it's more strategic. You can. It takes a little bit more planning ahead, like planning your moves. In terms of like maybe getting the upper hand by getting behind your enemy or looking how your enemy moves. It's kind of like chess almost, like how certain players or certain attacks, should I say, in this context, can only fill out a certain amount of squares. Sometimes they do like a bit like 9 squares of damage. Sometimes it's just 3 squares in a straight line. So you can plan around it to sort of avoid damaging and getting damaged and all that. I don't really need to talk about anything outside of the battle system because it's still the same kind of game of Stick of Truth, roaming around the town of South Park, doing missions for people and progressing the story. But this time, instead of it being like fantasy based, it's superhero based now, like riffing off of like Marvel, and it's like the pop culture impact of Marvel.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Do they make references like to the movies, like the cinematic universes and stuff?
Oh yes, absolutely. There's a whiteboard in Cartman's basement or in the Coon layer where it actually breaks down his plans for how to, because the sort of basic plot of the story is that Cartman's trying to like create his own cinematic universe for Coon and friends, and all of the boys all have their own, superhero alter egos. And on the whiteboard, he has it broken down into phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, just like the Marvel movies have. And underneath each phase is like he's given, like, for example, like he's got like Netflix series and origin stories and all of that, like trying to break it down into a franchise. And the basic idea of the game is you're supposed to go around and get followers for Coonstagram, like his riff on Instagram. And the more followers you gain, trying to kind of build the franchise. But as I said, don't really need to discuss the gameplay outside of the battle system because it's just the same, collecting costumes and just really enjoying all like the rich references to the South Park TV series because this game is newer. It's got tons more of references to the newer episodes in it, which I'm not really too up to date on, but I'm still enjoying anyway. And I will hope to platinum that soon. I hear it's a lot easier than Stick of Truth. There's a lot less missable trophies, other than completing the game on harder difficulties. And the other game I started today is I bought Life is Strange Before the Storm. The episode, season pass, whatever you want to call it, was on sale, so I picked it up. It's only 3 episodes. I'm only halfway through the first episode, so way too early to pass judgment on that yet.
Yep.
So that rounds up what we've been playing this week. So let's just move swiftly on and get on with the news. So, Beck, if you want to take the lead and be our news anchor.
Don't worry, I'll work on that. So, for today, we got not much, but a few stories. Sadly enough, we already talked about the server closure on Demon Souls, but apparently that's not the only game that's getting servers getting shut down. I am sorry to inform that games for the PlayStation 3 are getting the online servers just completely gone. Now, I'll put an asterisk on that because that those games have like single player portions, but if you want to get like the platinum, might as well start now. So the games in question are Wipeout 2048 for the PlayStation Vita, Wipeout HD, which is for the PlayStation 3, Wipeout HD Fury, which is the add-on for Wipeout for the PlayStation 3, iPad for the PlayStation 3, the iPad and Friends, and then we have Everybody's Golf, Gravity Rush 2, which really confuses me. And the most important ones that everyone's talking about right now is Killzone 2 and 3.
Okay,
now,
well let's break these down individually then as we go. Right, let's talk about Wipeout to begin with. This kind of makes sense that they're shutting it down now, not only because it's like that was like close to some of the launch games of at least Wipeout HD and Fury. They were really old PS3 games, like around launch sort of PS3 games. And also, it makes sense that they're shutting down the Multiverse because the Omega Collection now exists. So while those games are losing their online connectivity, the online community is not completely gone because big fans of those games would likely have shifted over to the PS4 version now. Yeah, would you agree with that? Or
I like the Wipeout HD collection. I mean the Wipeout bundle on the PlayStation 3. Personally, it runs smoothly. Not as smooth as the PS4 version, which apparently has 4K support. Is that correct?
Sorry, say that again.
The 4K, does it have on the PS4 version?
Yeah, the Omega Collection. It runs in 4K 60.
Yeah, like for an early PS3 game, it looks amazing. I played it like on the bigger resolution TVs, and it looks like wonderful. Like you can see a bit of textures not being loaded properly, but even still, it runs 60 FPS completely for a racing game, and for they being that old, it is.
I spent a lot of hours in that game back when I got it for free on when PSN went down, and I got it for free as one of the games. Sorry, are you going to say something, Wood?
Oh no, I never play. I never played a game. I'm talking in general that there is a lot of game getting the little server close. I don't know. I think it'll give some people. Some people might give them a little push in the back to complete those games if they always wanted to go. Like won't have really a choice. They will. But it's something that'll probably happen more and more.
They're not easy platinums to get though. I mean, those games are really hard. Just like
they need a lot of boosting, and the online part is easy. I think from Wipeout and Killzone games. I think Killzone 3 is easy, but Killzone 2 is pretty difficult.
Yes, and I was about to say, Wipeout only has a handful of online trophies, which aren't difficult. It's just win 10 games, participate in 10 races, complete win a 12 race tournament, and eliminate 50 opponents. I'm not mistaken. I don't know if there's any else there's gonna be unmissable after that. And for Killzone, you mentioned too. that's gonna be a pain to boost because there's a trophy that requires you to get the 1% trophy, be the top 100%. So,
man, those type of trophies suck.
Yep.
As for Killzone, though, I mean, I played Killzone 2 back in the day, and I didn't really like it too much. I found it pretty tricky. Didn't really play much of the online, but Killzone 3, though, I really enjoyed that game, and I actually bought that pre-owned for really cheap, like in a game store, and I got really into the online that I actually went on PSN and bought all the DLC packs for it. So they kind of recuperated their losses for me buying it pre-owned there from me. But yeah, the online was really good. Really enjoyed that. Spent hours and hours on Killzone 3 online, and the campaign was good as well. But yeah, I guess that community can't be too alive anymore. The Shadowfall community is still alive though. They still hold like little events and stuff.
That
online.
Yeah, because that game is like recent. It was like launch title for the PlayStation 4. So looking at like the Killzone games as well. I'm already have the game loaded on my PS3 right now, so I just have to like find the session, already updated everything. Luckily, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about this one, but the iPad one, like nobody cares, but at the same time, iPad itself is just one trophy. It's just that one little trophy. It's called it's the Shopaholic. But that is apparently it's something that won't be unobtainable. Oh, right. I kind of forgot about these two games that's also getting server shut down. Saints Row 4 and Saints Row the Third.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's getting shut down, but it doesn't affect the trophies.
Yeah, those games
really?
only had. They didn't have online trophies because I've platinumed both of those games. And
they have something about like you have to share something online, but the server kind of already are laggy and doesn't work properly. But just by clicking the button, it does it without sharing it online. So
yeah, I vaguely recall that actually. But yeah, it's only co-op game. Like the online portion of that game is just basically completing missions in co-op. It's not actually anything that requires an online connection. Everything can be done single player, which I did because I'm not really an online player anyway, you know.
Yes, we don't want a resistance type of server shutdown that blocks like half of the trophy list.
Oh man, I wish they ported over Saints Row the Third to PS4 because I'd play that game again. I really would. I wouldn't play the fourth game again. I wouldn't play 4 because I found it a bit boring. But I'd definitely play 3 again. I really enjoyed that game. I thought that was such a good game.
What would you name it though?
Like, what you mean? Like, you mean like the sort of like ported edition of it?
Yes, because I think the Game of the Year edition for that game is called the Full Package. But I don't know.
They necessarily need a new subtitle. It could just, I don't know. Either way, I think I think we've missed that opportunity anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, wait. You were about to say something?
No, I was wondering what's next on the news if we're done with this.
Okay. No. We are not done yet. Besides the server shutdowns, on better news, how many of you played Catherine on the PlayStation 3?
No. I played 10 minutes on PS Now.
Well, that's a good way to start.
Yeah, I have to go back on it because I have 1 or 2 trophy. I think I have 1 trophy on my profile. So
yeah,
I'm like forced to go back, but I'll do it.
Okay. What about you, Daz?
I haven't played it personally, but I have actually watched my girlfriend play and finish that game, so I know a decent amount about it, at least from a third party perspective.
Yes. Now, the game in question though, it's Catherine Full Body that's coming for the PlayStation 4. Now, back like 2 weeks ago, I think, Atlas was teasing that it was going to bring over one of their more popular PS3 titles to the PS4 as a remaster with added content. Now, people were speculating on which game was. People were commenting on Demon's Souls because of the server shutdowns coming in February. Besides that was Catherine the biggest contender. though people were also clamoring about Persona 4 Arena and Three Dot Game Heroes. Though Catherine was a really interesting choice for me because I felt like the PS3 version of Catherine had like a bunch of content already, and I feel like that game is already good by its own. I don't feel like anything should be added on, but they did it anyway. It's like how I felt with Persona 3 when I first played it on the and then I realized, oh wait, Fez added like a bunch more content and they added like more social links and stuff. And then you realize Catherine, they add a new girl, they add more levels, and I think they add more story discussion. So, what do you guys think?
Void, you go first.
I don't know much about the game, and I don't follow the remaster that. Like, it's cool they're announced. People seems to be happy about it, but I didn't.
People are
I have
definitely.
to. If I play it, I will go back to the one on PlayStation 3 because that's the one I have a trophy on. So I will go play this one. So even if there's a new one, I don't think I will play it. It will be cool if it come on PlayStation Plus, but if it's a remaster, maybe they won't do it too different, even if there's a small difference.
Well, it's good to see that the Vita's still alive and getting games. That's what always makes me happy. Even if I'm not going to play the game, it's good to see that games are still coming for the Vita, which makes me hopeful that well, not hopeful, it's probably the wrong word, but it shows that the platform is still profitable, which means that other developers, publishers, what have you, will put games on it. And I'm not looking for, of course, big AAA games on it, but just the little kind of, chip away at your free time kind of games, like the ones we like play and talk about on our server, the little tiny games like the bad example of a game, but like Twin Robots or Square Boy versus the Bullies, just the little games, they're kind of like almost mobile type games, like pretty straightforward trophy lists, easy
there's at least like 2 or 3 games on Vita almost every week getting released these days. I don't know if they all plan it for Christmas and buy games for, but it's pretty nice.
I always keep my eye on the Vita store for the little games and such, so it's nice to see that it's still alive. But just going back to the game, Catherine, not really my kind of game, not really interested in it at all. And from a trophy point of view, it's like 9 out of 10 difficulty for platinum, so that's definitely
no, that turns off a lot of people when you see like the trophy. You guys have to play like, I think you have to play like 6 or 7 times to get like every single ending. And then there was something else. It was you have to get like all the endings. You have to beat like this mini game, save everyone from the horrors that's happening. Like you have to talk to them, and I think you have to try every single drink, cocktails and stuff. Yep.
If I think we've established before that if you're passionate and really into a game, then doing all that stuff is fine. That's part of your enjoyment. But for someone speaking personally, if I'm not interested or invested in a game, that's just going to be a chore for me. So I wouldn't even try. Wouldn't even attempt it.
Okay. Besides that, I think the last news segment we have to talk about is like the Christmas sales happening right now.
Yes, indeed. The January sale has started already on PSN. Speaking about the EU territory, I was just browsing it earlier today. So I assume that's on for at least over a month. So there's plenty of time to browse and see what takes everyone's fancy.
It's pretty nice too. There's a lot of choices.
Yeah, yes. I think I saw on their Twitter it's like something like there's over 500 items in this sale.
Yeah, I think they read 500 on the blog, PlayStation blog.
Yep. Yeah. I'm thinking of picking up like Life is Strange, the complete season for Player 3, so I can stack that. Thinking of buying like Sleeping Dogs and possibly playing like Stickbold because that game is like 159 right now.
Yeah, it's a good.
Oh man, Stickbold. I tried platinum that game, but I just end up rage deleting it because I only had a few trophies left. I can't really remember it too well, but I was playing one of the hardest.
Yeah, you have to play on the hard difficulty. But did you rage quit at the skeleton boss?
It was against the devil boss, I think.
Yeah, but it's like the final boss of the game. So like you're so close from the platinum. It's like the last one you have to beat, and you're there.
Yeah, it was the AI. The AI just kept like
Yeah,
messing.
yeah.
Just your co-op, your partner AI is just
it's
killed.
Almost the only challenge in the hard mode. The rest are you won't get it on the first try. But
I tried
wasn't
that
hard,
level
but,
for hours.
But yeah,
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I probably passed an hour on the level.
The AI is
Ooh.
just so dumb,
But it's
getting killed so easily. So I just gave up. Just can't be bothered wasting my time on it. So just moved on to something else.
Looking at your maybe list right now, Void. Sorry.
Yeah, I post a small maybe list on the Discord, just checking because I don't know everything I want to buy. I know I want to buy SteamWorld Dig because I have SteamWorld Dig 2, but I'm waiting to play the first one just to go for the second one after.
Yep. The assembly is okay. It's not a fantastic game, but
it's a easy platinum. I think it's like 1 or 2 hour with a walkthrough. That's the reason why it's there.
Yeah, I started that game in PSVR, and when I found out that you didn't need PSVR, I just played it normally. Not because it just doesn't in PSVR. It's to move along like corridors and stuff. It does that kind of like teleportation, like the jumps.
Yeah.
And it was just it was just such a chore to move around. It was so slow. So when you're not playing it in PSVR, you can just walk like normally, like a first-person point of view, and it was just so much quicker to get around all the kind of offices and corridors and do the puzzles. So yeah, which is good. I'm glad you can play outside of PSVR, and it is an easy platinum as well if you have a guide to find.
Yeah, I'm still not sure because of the price. The assembly seems to be a bit too expensive still for like 1 or 2 hour of gameplay.
Yep.
I'm not sure, but there's a couple of choices. There's Stamper that is pretty cheap. It's never been that cheap on the PlayStation Store, but it's a rhythm game, so I know it will be a big challenge for me. And you have to get S.
Yeah.
There's only 9 level, but you got to get S everywhere. So
yeah,
it'll be tough. I know.
I
will curse probably if I go for that. But the price is good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh
no, but go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so I was gonna say like these two games, Sundered and Soma. I recommend Soma. I don't 100% recommend Sundered. I mean, if you're like a Metroidvania nut, then go for it. But it's not the best Metroidvania.
That's probably why it's attracting me and not my list.
It's the thing is that the game itself is a bit like janky. It has like too many things happening at the same time. The game itself, I'll give you like a proper video, but the gist of it's like there's a bunch of problems that it could be easily fixed, but at the same time they're not fixing. And it mainly focuses on the combat, and I think it's something about the upgrade system that it's just ridiculous. But I'll link you like the review itself.
I'll check. It's still a maybe list, so I didn't pick anything yet. Soma, like you requested someone. I was talking with someone on Twitter and telling me that the game is pretty straightforward concerning the trophy. There is no platinum, but I think there is one missable, and like that's all. All the rest is story related, so you can just play the game and go. So
it's a scary fucking game. You'll love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Anything else on the news section?
Do we want to mention the thing that Claire mentioned, or we want to put it on the Discord at the very end?
We can just do it now, if you like. If you want to go ahead and start it.
Okay, so one of our community members, from the community organizers, SSG Punish, had a car accident like a few weeks ago, but we like felt bad for him, so we made a channel as a tribute called the SSG Tribute Get Well channel. And so the overwhelming response has been very positive, and thank you everyone who has been commenting. At the same time, I feel like we got a message back yesterday, or was it like yesterday, we got a message back from SSG. Apparently, he is at his last surgery and will be active soon enough.
That's good.
Yes, and thank you. And he mentions everyone. Thank you for all the kind messages. I have it pinned down on the SSG Tribute Get Well channel. So if anyone wants to look that up, wants to check it out, feel free to do so. And I think Claire has something about $10, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, anyone who posted in the that SSG Tribute channel was automatically entered for the $10 PSN card giveaway, I believe.
It was a raffle, yes.
It was basically a raffle, yeah. So if you posted in that channel, you will automatically entered into that. So that's also nice as well.
Yes.
Not that you should have an incentive anyway to wish him get well, but yeah, every comment within this community spirit will be valid as an entry to receive a $10 PSN code in your region. I'm not sure when that ends though, so Claire hasn't specified when that will end. But yeah, you'll know soon enough. Like I said, you've automatically been entered into it if you've posted in there. So there we go. Any other items we want to cover?
Nope, that's about it for a news segment. Unless anyone wants to add something else to the table, but I think that's enough.
Okay, then that closes up our news section. So let's move on to, of course, tricky trophies. This is a segment where we look back through our trophy collections at some of the most challenging, rage-inducing gameplay, or just plain boredom and grinding we've had to endure for a single trophy. So, guys, I tell you what, I think I'll lead this one this week, and I'm going to start off with a pretty old PS3 game, also regarded as one of the best games of that generation. It is Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
I didn't platinum this game, by the way, but one of the trophies I did get, which I spent a long time trying to get, was one of the online ones, funnily enough, talking about online earlier in this episode. This was Most Wanted, become a public enemy for 10 minutes and escape alive in a public free roam session. Now, if I remember correctly, what you have to do is basically cause tons of trouble in the online, whether it's basically rough up loads of NPCs or just cause loads of commotion, and basically the game makes you stand out on the map and you become most wanted. So every other player in free roam is out to get you. And and you have to survive 10 minutes and also get out of you're also the AI is also after you as well. It sends in I really can't remember. It's been years since I played it, but like the police, the sheriff, law enforcement, whatever, is also after you as well as everyone else who is like real people in the online matches, in the online servers are also after you. So you are literally most wanted. And if you are killed by a human player, I think they're awarded a bounty or something. So what I remember doing is some random actually helped me out. Now that I remember, some guy I managed to get down a really narrow alleyway where there was only two ways into the alleyway, like a 90-degree alleyway where there's only two ways in. And I managed to kind of barricade myself in, and the other guy was helping me out. I was on voice chat with him, and basically as the AI sheriffs would come down the alleyway, I was at a good angle to shoot them. And built up my most wanted level up and up to like the highest kind of like 5 stars or whatever it was in that game. And then the idea was to escape. You have to escape it and get away from being chased by the law. And then like in GTA, of course, when you get outside of the sort of radius, your stars start to reduce until you're finally in the clear and free. And I just remember you have to survive 10 minutes, but I was in there for about an hour in that alleyway trying to pick the exact right moment with enough law enforcement and killed enough human players to get out. And I remember like just galloping out on a horse as fast as I could, and all manner of bullets flying, whizzing past me behind. And I remember getting hit down to like the tiniest bit of my life screen, like, glowing red, I'm going to die. I'm thinking, I've just spent like over an hour in this alleyway trying to build up my most wanted. Survived obviously way past the 10 minutes, but now I have to escape. And I managed just to kind of get down a steep hill enough that where the bullets would fly over me rather than into me. And yeah, oh, what a relief! But yeah, that's definitely one of the trickiest trophies I did in that game. I just regret not platinum and putting the effort in to get platinum. That's also why I went so hard on GTA 5 in terms of the GTA Online. Like, 'cause I really didn't like GTA Online. I've said it many times before, but I didn't want to repeat of Red Dead again, where I regret not putting just that little bit extra in and pushing through to the platinum. So yeah, I do regret that, but oh well. But yeah, okay, that was my tricky trophy. Void, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I've been playing a game last week actually that is called Conga Master. So
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I always play some little hidden gem, a little game there, and I had fun. Conga Master was interesting. The first playthrough was cool. Take a couple of hours, and it's nice. It's really a dancing game. You literally it's not rhythm, but you go on the dance floor, and it's a pixelated game where you go and you dance with people, and you try to make the longest line of congas. It's like a super ridiculous. There is power up, and there is weird creature and a weird story behind where there is alien and stuff. So it's kind of special. But inside this game, that it's not too hard, but there is 22 characters, if I remember correctly, to unlock in the game. And how did you unlock them is a wheel, like Wheel of Fortune. So on that wheel, when you have 4 character, more than 4 character to unlock, you have 4 spots where there is those character, and you turn the wheel at the end of every level, and if the wheel finish on one character, you unlock it. So it's not too bad at the beginning, and there is one trophy for unlocking all characters, so you have to unlock all of them. But the problem is at the end on this wheel that got, I think it got 12 spot where it can end. It's at the end, there is only one character left. So there is only one of those 12 spots that will unlock a character. So it was terrible. I think it took like 3 or 4 hours. So it's totally random. But it took me 3 or 4 hours of
in the
playing
about random luck-based trophies or luck-based mechanics, should I say, in games.
And the game was cool at the beginning, but after that the music is cool at the beginning, but the music gets super annoying when it's been 3 or 4 hours that you do the same first 2 levels just to get this freaking character that doesn't want to unlock. That's just terrible. So that's
it always sucks when it's like random. So
yeah, it is terrible, and you just roll the wheels. Hope it's arriving. Yeah, some people can do it much faster than me, but like 3 or 4 hours on that, it's too. Anyway, got the plat, it's done, and
nice.
Yep.
I don't recommend.
No, but it seems like very straightforward and very easy.
It is not hard. It just if you're someone lucky, go for it. If it's your day, go for it. Otherwise, just
press your luck. Press your luck. Yeah. Press your luck.
Okay, well, Vec, what tricky trophy have you got for us this week?
Okay, so this year I have played so many games, but one of them is frustrating that I probably never touch ever again. So the game in question is Watch Dogs. Now, I've heard collectibles being annoying, and there's like collectibles that you can get like in straight places, and sometimes collectibles that are constantly moving. I think you guys know where I'm going with this when I say that the disc space full trophy in Watch Dogs is bullshit. No,
I haven't played Watch Dogs, so I don't.
No, I never played the first one.
Wait, you guys, I feel so alone now. Oh. Okay, so
there's a lot of people that play it out there. So.
Okay, so this space full is just unlocking every single song in the Song Sneak app. Now, in the game, you come across multiple pedestrians, and you can scan their phones to get like money, profile pages, and see like criminal activity. But one of the major things they can get on this, going for this trophy, is getting songs that you can get and download. Now, these songs are purely random, and you can get it like just walking down the street, and you just press like the up and get like the phone menu and see like which songs you have and which ones don't. And now the songs in question, there are like 23 of them. But there's more of them besides the ones that you need to unlock. So you don't have to unlock every single song with the app. But the game says you have to unlock every single song with the app, but it doesn't. So false advertising on that part.
So are the songs like almost randomly generated for every regular person you hack into?
Okay, so the thing is, each one is like in each different district. So in some districts have like 1 or 2 songs. So people recommend like going to restaurants, coffee shops, bars, gun shops, like every single one. But also like profiling citizens gets like better odds on getting more varied songs. Now going forward to this gun, is like you can probably pass through the game and probably get like this space full if you just walk around the city instead of driving everyone to shreds or using like the fast travel system. But if you're like me and use the fast travel to like breeze through the story, you're gonna miss a lot of content, and this is one of the contents I missed. So I had to stay in an open area filled with civilians, run around aimlessly, try to scan every single phone, go back, reload, go back around again, run around, scan every single phone, go back again, and have every single civilian spawn again until like the trophy eventually popped. And when it did, I was so happy. I was like spending almost 4 hours running around reloading the save just to get like the last song I was needing, because I had 22 or 23 and I needed one specific song that can only get in one specific district by one random civilian, and it was purely chance. And when I did find it, it was like a girl wearing headphones hearing the song in like a park bench. And when I did, I got the platinum, and immediately after I was like super glad I actually did this.
I'm glad that they didn't do that in the second game, because I really enjoyed Watch Dogs 2. But where you were saying like different songs generate in different districts or regions of the map, that really reminds me of the cars in LA Noire, because it's the same kind of thing. Different blocks or different parts of the city is where different cars generate.
Yes.
The AI generates them. So yeah, that stuff like that is just, just such a chore.
Also, if you try to do this like early in the game, you're not gonna get the platinum, that trophy immediately after, because there's some songs that you can only unlock after certain missions have been played. Like there's 3 of them that unlock after each act. So in the second act on mission 11, you unlock another one. In act 3, around mission 7, you get another one. Act 4, you also get like another one. So, and those only are rewarding on story missions. So even though you get like 20 of 23, you're not gonna get every single one immediately after you start the game. So just gonna put that pin in. So I don't recommend it. It was annoying.
No, I've seen that game on sale loads of times for really cheap, and after playing Watch Dogs 2, I have no intention of going back and playing a game that I've just seen people complain about for years, basically. So I'm glad they improved upon it in Watch Dogs 2, because sort of generally speaking, that game was better received and it got a lot of praise, at least in the community and the gaming community. A lot of people seem to really like that game, including myself, and it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, well, that rounds up the Tricky Trophy section for this week. So let's just talk a little bit about any Discord news or any updates that are happening on the servers. So
we got a bunch.
Yes. So what would you like to discuss first?
We already discussed SSG being recovered, so that was fun. Let me see.
I can talk about the giveaway.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
of
We
course.
right.
have a giveaway right now made giveaway for the Trophy Trust on Twitter. So if you don't follow us on Twitter, it's at the Trophy Trust, and we're having a giveaway for European Trophy Hunter because it's on the Vita, so it's not really possible to
Before, just
win.
before we go into any more detail about it, just to let you know that this giveaway ends on December 24th at midnight. So this podcast is being recorded on the 22nd. So hopefully this podcast will be up in time for you to hear this and enter. But if it isn't, the deadline is the 24th of December. So if you're listening to this past that date, it's already closed.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a giveaway for Xin and Valkyrie Plus. So the game looked pretty nice. I think it'll be a nice platinum, not too hard. It's the same dev that did Dimitrios for PlayStation and PlayStation 4. So if you have played that, it's different. Dimitrios was a point-and-click adventure, and this time is going with something with a little bit more action. So yeah.
So what kind of game is it then? What's an example of the gameplay?
I haven't checked.
I'll look it up. But this is like the second giveaway we're doing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a roguelike platformer.
Okay.
So
Yes.
where you have when you die, you start from the beginning.
Ooh, challenging.
Yeah, challenging, but it's looking pretty nice from the video on YouTube and everything.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Next item.
I think next item we got is the award.
Okay. We're having a sort of end of year 2017 awards on on our Discord server, and we have a whole bunch of categories. Actually, if you just give me a second to pull up the categories, this will be we will be sorting out a voting system, correct?
Yes.
Correct. It on the server, so people can vote and for members on the server.
Yes, I'll be hopefully getting that up by the end of the day. So I should be that should be up by then. I already have the things categorized. I just need to get like this one thing and just put it on like in one channel.
Yeah, so here's just a few examples of some of the categories. Nothing is this isn't from a finalized list yet, but here's just a few examples of what the kind of awards, so to speak, are on the server. We have like Emote of the Year, Best/Worst Trophy List of the Year, PS Plus Game of the Year, Trophy Hunter of the Year, Leaderboard Breaker, Best Podcast Episode, Most Anticipated Game to Platinum in 2018. So things like that, basically, which will all go into their own little categories, and people will be able to vote. We're just sort of like finalizing the ideas in mod how to vote for each category and whatnot. So look out for that on the server, and as Vex said, that should be up and working soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add or continue on with?
This is like the end of the year. We should end on something very good. Oh wait, Daz, next week on the 29th, there's one more Friday left.
Yes. There is. Well, we'll see. We'll see how everything lands. I mean, I would definitely like to do one more final podcast of the year, for sure. We'll just see how it goes. I mean, it's Christmas. It's a very busy time of the year, hence why I wasn't on the last episode. You know, real life things and all of that. As much as I'd like to be online talking about trophies and gaming all day, bills have to be paid and things have to be done in real life, unfortunately. So can't always make the episodes. But I'm glad you guys stepped up to the plate. And Void, you were lead host last week, and
it was a nice experience.
You did a good job.
Looking forward to do another one. Oh, thanks.
Sure. Yeah, my hands are wrapped up already with so many of the gifts I have.
Mm-hmm. So let's for now. Let's say this is the penultimate episode of 2017. For now, pending penultimate, and we'll see where we go from there. So I think it is time to sign off, unless anyone else has any final items to add.
No, I think that's all
all good.
besides following us, each individual. Daz, you want to end up with the climax? Come on.
Okay. All right. Well, you can all follow us all individually in our places on social media. You can follow me and find me on Twitter at the Desiel. Void, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at PVT Void.
And Vec.
You can find me on Twitter at the Vectronic, and you can also find us at the PlayStation Trophy server.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can find the link for that on our own on the podcast's Twitter, which I'll get to in just a second. So thank you for listening, and as always, you can find our episodes on our YouTube channel, The Trophy Trust. Please support us there by subscribing for our future episodes. You can also find updates on our Twitter at The Trophy Trust. You can also find the link to the Discord server if you're not already a member there. Please come and join. We have a really good community with loads of help if you're a startup trophy hunter or a trophy veteran. Tons of people ready to help, give you tips. We also have an easy platinum section as well if you fancy just boosting your numbers on PSN. We have loads of stuff you can come and have a look at and get involved with discussions and our events and stuff. And also, of course, you can come and take part in these podcast episodes, both in the chat, and you can also come on if you like. We have a sort of open rotating chair, if you will, and if it fits into our schedule and into yours, you can come on and be a guest. We're absolutely fine with that. If you enjoy our show, please consider supporting us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. We're strictly non-profit podcast, but we have server hosting costs that need to be paid to keep us on the air. This has been the Trophy Trust. Keep on hunting. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.